Here we go, folks. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are doing it. Finally, we are unboxing the Nintendo Switch 2. This console is the successor to the ever so revolutionary and game-changing, no pun intended, Nintendo Switch. I bought this console at Target. It's actually the last non-Mario Kart bundle that they had in stock, and I purposefully went for the version without Mario Kart World so I can get a physical version of the game at some point down the road. No pun intended again. This console was $450 before tax. The Mario Kart bundle and the up-and-coming Pokemon Legends ZA bundle retails at $500. Yeah, so I'm really stoked to have this console. I love the Nintendo Switch, but with the awesome new games that are coming out for this thing and some of the hardware improvements for this, I just couldn't say no to this. As always, I'll start by going over the box really quick. Up front, we have the Switch 2 console tablet in its new and improved dock. We have the new and improved magnetic Joy-Cons on their Joy-Con grip. On this side of the box, we have a Switch 2 being played in handheld mode. On the back, we have another person putting it in its dock. And here we have a couple people playing with it in tabletop mode using separate Joy-Cons. Up here it says Nintendo, and a whole bunch of gobbledygook down here, except for up here. This is what the console comes with, but we'll be getting into that anyway. Let's not waste any more time, and let's unbox this, shall we? Box it from back here. Right. Here we are. There's no sprigatito like there was on the on my Nintendo Switch OLED Pokemon's box. Alright, let's get this open. Looks like it's upside down. Okay. Right here we have some steps on how to configure and set up the console and everything like that. It's pretty cool. Alright, so I'm gonna get the main attraction out of the box really quick so we can save the best for last. Okay. So, oops. Alright, so let's get all the components out really quick, as many as we can. Right. First things first, here we have the console's USB-C to USB-C charger right here. That means that it might charge a little bit faster than if it was like USB-C and USB-A. So the console does charge on USB Type-C. And right here is the wall AC adapter for the console. One thing that I really like about the Switch 2 compared to the Switch 1 is the fact that this plug right here, you can actually plug it in and out. It's not hardwired like it was in the Switch 1, so it's less susceptible to fraying. If anything happens to this, you can always just replace it. Next up, we have right here we have the grip for the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. So, fun fact, I've never told anyone, I actually hated the grips for the Switch 1 Joy-Cons. I don't know how much more of an improvement this is going to be. So here we have the Switch 2 dock. Let's take a quick look. Wow. This has a matte black finish. It feels a little heavier because there's more internals on this one compared to the Switch 1's dock, but it says Nintendo Switch 2 up front. Here we have the TV mark down here in the power indicator. Down here we have the prongs and USB-C port as well for the console when you play it on your TV. Just slides in down here. You might want to use a screen protector though, so you don't scratch it up. Here we have the USB-C AC adapter. Here we have an HDMI out and a LAN port if you want to use wired internet for it. There's also supposed to be more cooling fans in here, unlike the previous Switch. Honestly, it makes sense. Put this back on really quick. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the Nintendo Switch 2 console itself. Let's start by looking at the Joy-Cons really quick. So here's the left one. This feels heavy, a bit heavier than the other one. So as you can see, it has a matte black finish, and this one's blue and the other one's red. I really like how this time around, unlike with the original Switch, it came in either with either gray Joy-Cons or blue and red Joy-Cons initially. But I do really like how this one is catering to people who like both want like a clean black finish as well as colors on it. I think this is pretty smart of Nintendo to do. Here we have the D-pad buttons right here. Here we have the analog stick, minus, and the capture button. And here we have the SL and SR buttons. Back here we have the trigger for the since the Joy-Cons are magnetic, you can just release it like that. Here we have L and ZL. And you can also use this in mouse mode. It has an IR sensor right here. It should come with straps in here too. I'll try looking for those in just a minute. For the Joy-Cons, if you want to use them in mouse mode. So here's the right Joy-Con. Here we have A, B, X, and Y, plus analog stick, which is down this time. The other one was up top. Here we have the home and the new C button for if you want to use the new game chat feature. I don't think I'm ever going to use that, but we'll see. Again, SL and SR, the release trigger. Here we have the R and ZR. Obviously, these two triggers right here, they're not for gameplay. They're just for releasing the console. I'll get into that more in just a minute. I had to watch a quick video to figure out where the Joy-Con straps are. It turns out that they're under the console's tablet. Here we have the HDMI cable, which is also in here. It's a certified ultra high speed cable, which is pretty cool. So here we have the straps for the magnetic Joy-Cons. Take these out really quick. So these are for when you want to use the Switch in the Joy-Cons in mouse mode, for if you play games like Drag and Drive. Let me know down in the comments if you ever want to see me try out that game in the future. I have heard mixed things about it, but it does look pretty fun. Let's see if these can attach in here really quick. Is the right way? Nope. All right. Feels pretty sturdy. Doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere. Try with this one. Alright, so this is what they look like with the straps inside of them. Pretty intuitive, pretty cool. Take these out really quick because I want to put them in the Switch. Put those to the side. Alright, now for the pièce de résistance, the Nintendo Switch 2 tablet console itself. Alright, first impressions, it is pretty beefy compared to the Switch OLED. I'll be doing a comparison on the two in just a minute, but here we have the new and improved massive 7.9-inch screen. Down here we have the USB-C charging port and the cooling vents. Up here we have, of course, the power button, the volume rockers. Here we have, on this side we have the microphone, we have the game card slot, a headphone jack, and a second USB-C port for if you want to charge it when you use it in tabletop mode. The previous Switch only had one port down here. You can only charge it down here. You couldn't charge it using it in portable tabletop mode without some accessory. But it is pretty cool that they have the second port up here for charging as well. At first I thought it was a little weird, but now I completely understand the point. Speaking of which, so here's the kickstand for the console. It extends out from the bottom and on the sides. It's not like, you know, it's not all slanted, like it's not all like, it doesn't like go like, you know, this way. Right here we have the micro SD Express cards. It only takes micro SD Express. It doesn't take regular micro SD cards due to the faster speed. So the console does have 256 gigs of internal storage, which is quite an improvement from the Switch 1's 32 gigs of storage. So you can hold a lot more games in here if you really want to. Although most people will probably just get a micro SD card, express card anyway. So like with the Switch OLED, the kickstand does go forward and backward like so. The mechanisms in here make it pretty smooth, although maybe not quite as smooth as the Switch OLEDs, and it does feel a little bit more flimsy though, first impression. Yeah, so let's put the Joy-Cons in here, shall we? See how they feel. Whoa. Goes in there just like that with almost no effort because it's magnetic. And take them out just like using this trigger right here. Right, number 2. There we are. Okay, let's try them in here with this grip right here. See if it's any improvement at all. Probably won't be though. I like that there are pads on the back of this to prevent scratching from the Joy-Con. Nope. Just like that, almost no effort. Same with this one. Little gap in between the two. Honestly, this one isn't terrible. Maybe I'll compare the two in just a bit too. I do really like the magnetic feature in the Joy-Cons though. Although where they're held though, so this is the this port right here also keeps them in place. But the red and blue slots right here are stickers though, which I'm not really crazy about, but it is what it is. You only get so much of what you want. But overall though, the hardware improvements on here are really something. Let's do a quick side-by-side hardware comparison with my Nintendo Switch 2 and my Switch OLED Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Edition. So this has been in so many videos on my channel. As you can see, the Switch 2 is quite a bit taller and wider. The screen on this one alone is almost as wide as the screen on the Switch with the Joy-Cons on it. Well, I mean, but yeah, so they do supposedly have the same sort of thickness. I don't want to. I just bought this one, so I don't want to. Pretty close actually. You know, this one honestly almost looks the Switch 2 honestly almost looks thinner than the Switch 1. So speaking of which, so to remove the Joy-Cons on the old Switch, you press this little button right here, and they go up on rails. So on the back, there's a whole bunch of Pokemon related decal of the Paldean starters on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So the Switch logo is down here on its kickstand, which goes all the way out, and honestly, it feels a bit smoother than this one does, and also less flimsy. I wasn't expecting that, but you can only have so much of everything. They both take micro SD cards, of course, but this one again is Express, and this one is regular micro SD. Micro SD Express is a little bit more expensive, but you know, that's just what you get for higher quality stuff. But one thing I do like about the Switch 2 though, compared to the Switch OLED, is that the game card slot does actually have a little insert right here for, like, you know, when you want to take a game out. This one, on the other hand, I have stubby fingernails, and it doesn't really have that. I have to use like a card or something like that in order to get in. Oops. In order to get in there and pry a game out, which isn't quite as handy or practical. Got Animal Crossing in there right now. Probably my most played Switch game. And the console turns on and off whenever you put a game in and out. And the Joy-Cons on these, of course, took out the orange reddish one right here, and it's almost the same color as that one. Maybe I should have taken the red one out on the Switch 2 instead. But so here we have the indicators right here light up, and the indicators over here, you know, they're on the side this time instead of in here. They both have Bluetooth sensors. This one has a down arrow when you put it down in the console. Both of these have SL and SR buttons, but the ones on the Switch 2 are a lot bigger, and they both have LZ and L, and same button D-pad layout. The layout on both of these are pretty much just about the same, only this one's a bit bigger and magnetic. They have the button right here to release them, and the little trigger. This is the thing that pops out of it. For the right Joy-Cons, same ABXY layout, plus button, R and ZR buttons, home button, and the additional C button for game chat on the Switch 2. One thing I forgot to mention is that the Switch 2's screen is LCD. compared to the Switch 1. This example right here, which has an OLED screen, which is slightly brighter colors and stuff. This is LCD, just like the original Switch 1, but it does have HDR support, unlike the OLED version, which is pretty cool. I can't wait to see what that's like. Oh, and this one also has up to 120 frames per second. I think this one's 30 to 60. Next, let's see how the Joy-Con grips feel. So again, I hate this one. I hated using this with the Joy-Cons. I'd much rather use a Pro Controller when using it on the TV. Without them, the grips actually don't feel that bad. Same with this one. But these ones actually have sidewalls, for lack of a better term, and this one doesn't because they go in with magnets. Let's see how they feel though with the controllers attached to them. This one feels so cramped. I do not like this one at all. I hate it. I mean, if you like it, more power to you, but maybe my hands are just a little bigger. A little big for that. Try with this one again. Put these in. Again. There we are. Okay. I'll admit this one does feel a little better, but it is still very much far from ideal for me, you know. But even so, I likely never use this at all. But you know, it's still, it does feel a little better than this one, even without the bolstering or sidewall right here, for lack of a better term. It is kind of glossy right here, so that would get fingerprints pretty easily if you use this, if you do plan on using it. And right here we have the hand straps for the Joy-Cons. So we just slide them in here, you lock them into place, and you have this right here for your strap to adjust to it, and buttons for the SLSR triggers too. You can use it like this when you play a Mario Kart or something, or you can use it as like a Wii remote. Same with this one too. Oops. I'll be honest with you, these old ones right here are kind of, in my opinion, are kind of flimsy. It was locked. It was locked. There we are. Little lock mechanism right there. Similar story. Let's try. Let's see how it compares to these ones really quick. There we are. Okay. These ones do feel a little better. You know, I do like that they have. I do like that they have padding down below for whenever you want to use them in mouse mode. And of course they have the straps too. Yeah, these compared to this, these do feel very much higher quality than the Switch 1 straps. It's honestly, I'd say it's almost a night and day difference with these. Not just with how the straps feel, but how the Joy-Cons themselves feel. These do feel higher quality than these, honestly. All around. Finally, let us compare the Switch and Switch 2 docks. The Switch and Switch OLED docks. So, as you can see with the Switch 1 OLED's dock, it actually has artwork of the Scarlet and Violet legendary Pokemon Koraidon and Miraidon. You know, because this is a limited edition. Normally the Switch OLED's dock would have like a much smaller Nintendo Switch logo. The one on the first one was slightly bigger. On the side we have two USB-A ports. It's really glossy in this one with the USB out port and the prongs down here for when you plug your console in. It's held by clips back here as well. It has the new one is too. I'll get to that in just a minute. I didn't realize how dusty this one was. So this is the best it can do for cooling when it's plugged in. Here we have the AC adapter, HDMI out, and a LAN port. So this one feels quite a bit more rounded compared to this one. And the Switch 2 logo is a bit bigger on this one than it was on the Switch OLED and LCD Switch. Here we have two USB-A ports just like this one. Similar situation going on in both. It's pretty glossy in this one. Maybe, yeah, both pretty glossy. Similar situation for all around, although this one does have actually have functional vents at the bottom, unlike this one. This one's also held back in by clips. It says Nintendo back here. Oop. I don't want to take this apart too often. So yeah, again, similar layout. USB-C, HDMI, and LAN. Wired internet. If you want to hook this up to a modem. The LCD switch did not have a LAN out port. You had to use a separate adapter if you wanted to connect it to that. Put both of these back in really quick. We have a little Pokeball down here, and this is where the ports go out. Similar with here, they don't have much of an opening, but I'm sure it's fine. So that has been my unboxing, overview, and comparison of the Switch 1 with the Nintendo Switch 2. I am really stoked to have this console now. I did decide to wait a few months to get it. You know, I wasn't in that big of a rush to get it when it first came out. I wasn't sure if it would sell out or not, but Nintendo has made strides in making sure that everyone who wants one can get their hands on it. You know, I was a little worried that I might not be able to get the core version without the Super Mario Kart World bundle, but luckily I did buy this one, the last one that they had in stock at Target. The game that I did purchase it with though first is Donkey Kong Bananza. I cannot wait to try this out, to play the game, even though the game I am most excited for it is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, as well as Adventures of Elliot Millennium Tales, both of which are by Square Enix. Unlike with my Switch 1, I do not plan on playing this primarily in TV mode, which is why I actually bought an accessory for it that I also plan on making an unboxing video with. It is the Kill Switch 2 case, made by D-Brand. I do plan on making a video of this one and giving my impressions on how it feels on the console. So please feel free to stay tuned for that. Yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think of the Switch 2, if you've bought one, and how you're enjoying it so far. Or if you continue on hanging on to your Switch 1 just for a little while longer, you know, or if you don't want the Switch 2, or maybe you just don't want the Switch 2 at all and would rather just continue playing on the Switch 1, you know, whatever you decide to do, more power to you. But yeah, I'm really stoked for this, and please stay tuned for my D-Brand Kill Switch 2 unboxing, along with this one. And yeah, thanks for watching. Something I just noticed about the Switch 2 game boxes, unlike the Switch 1 boxes, the Switch 2 games actually have dedicated, what are these called, side labels for the game boxes as well. So you can see the artwork, and you can see what it has to offer. It has like part of the artwork that kind of bleeds into it, if that makes sense, you know. That's just so cool. Props to you, Nintendo, for putting that in.